I am so happy to be joined today by this individual. Don't think of him as the youngest. Don't think of him as the future. Don't think of him as the next. Don't think of him as the protege. Think of him as the now. Austin Theory, welcome to the show. It's a pleasure to have you.
Thank you for having me, man. I'm glad to be here right now.
I love it. Okay, so first of all, I'm a big fan. I've been following WWE my whole life, so as you can tell, it's probably like 20 years or so, whatever. So my first question for you is, how did you get your start with WWE?
Pretty much, there's a different process for everybody to getting to the WWE. For me, I did the independent route, being an independent wrestler and doing small shows, not making any money, sleeping on floors, being packed in cars, but just building myself up enough to getting offered a tryout with the WWE. I remember seeing that email and being so excited about it and showing up to the tryout and really just I remember the flight there and I just remember telling myself, when you get on this flight back home in 3 days after the tryout, the guy that gets on this flight needs to know that he gave everything that he had. And I don't want to feel like I could have gave a little more or just a little bit more. I wanted to make sure I gave it my all. And I remember getting back on that flight and feeling I knew it. I was like, that's it. There's nothing else I could have given. And sure enough, getting signed after that tryout, and that pretty much started the whole journey for Austin Theory.
That's amazing. Now, your ascension has just been fantastic and meteoric. I think about in the time that you've been with the WWE, all of the wonderful things that you've accomplished. What do you attribute that to? What do you attribute your success to?
Um, I would have to say, I've been blessed to have certain people in my life to help me with the mindset that I have. I remember being a young kid at the gym at 12. My mom was somebody that was into working out, and I told her, like, Mom, I want to be in the WWE. I got to start working out. And at 12 years old, my mom had me in the gym training with her. And I think around 14, 15, I started doing my own thing. But just, meeting certain people at the gym and a lot of, grown dudes, me training with them and teaching me that mentality of, when you feel like you're at that breaking point, there's so much more. And I think that helped me with a lot in life, just that mentality in the gym and being able to take frustrations out there and really just growing to different levels of not just physically, but mentally in your mind and having that strong mindset going into the WWE. And even still to this day, with certain situations for me, it's helped me grow a lot.
I love that. Now, I've seen a lot of your interviews, and historically, people tend to ask you, "What's it like working with this person? What's it like working with that person?" Just to remind you, in case you forgot, some of the wonderful talents you've worked with: Seth Rollins, Bobby Lashley, Roman Reigns, Brock Lesnar, Finn Balor, Pat McAfee, Stone Cold Steve Austin, and a guy named Vince McMahon. I'm going to ask you a question that I think you should have been asked before. What's it like working with you? Because let's be clear, you're the common denominator there, right? And in the time that you've been with WWE, you've had the opportunity of sharing the ring, the platform with all these wonderful superstars. And I look at you as kind of like that. You're the common denominator. So not to put you on the spot, but all of these people clearly want to work with you. So what's it like working with you?
I guess this could be a very biased answer, but I would say for me, man, I'm a very carefree. I like to have a good time person. When it's time to get down to business, let's get down to business. I think when something makes sense for all of us and it works, and everybody has their own style and how they do things. But I think for me, for the most part, I'm really open to a lot of things and a lot of different ideas of trying just different scenarios, and I think the biggest thing is, not being afraid to fail at a lot of things. And I think that's where me just taking that risk and having the confidence in myself. But I think, honestly, man, I'm a very good listener. And I would say I know when to listen and I know when not to listen. And I would say a lot of the guys that I've been able to work with, like a Brock Lesnar, a Bobby Lashley, a Finn Balor, especially Finn Balor, that's a guy that I remember doing live events with. And anybody that really knows the deep detail about WWE is live events is where you find that creativity in your character or whatever you're trying to create. And Finn Balor was somebody that pretty much led me through that on how a live event works and how we work there and how you can find these new things. And yeah, I think I'm just somebody that's super open to just, have a good time and really bring this to life.
I love that. I love that. Now, the schedule of a WWE superstar really fascinates me. And again, I've been following this for a while, but for those who aren't overly familiar, would you mind just kind of like running through like what a typical week of a WWE superstar looks like?
Sure. Yeah. I mean, we can even go through what's going on, today. Right now, today I have media. I started at 10 a.m. and I'll be done around 12 p.m. And then tomorrow I'll fly to SmackDown. I think we're in Hartford, Connecticut. I'll do the dark match, which the dark match is at the end of the SmackDown show. Then after that, I'll stay the night there. I'll get up. I'll drive 4 hours on Saturday. I think the live event might be in Pennsylvania. So I got a little bit, almost 4 hour drive, do that show. And then after that show, I'll drive to the next show, which I believe, I'm not sure where the town is, but I believe it's 3 hours away. And then once I finish that show, I got a 5 hour drive to where Monday Night Raw is in Albany, New York. And
Jeez.
then Tuesday, I have community work, which is great. It's an opportunity for WWE superstars to get to work with, kids with maybe disabilities or, unfortunate sicknesses and stuff like that. But, them being, WWE fans and getting to be around us and us just getting to have a great time, playing basketball or, doing something fun, just giving back. That's what I'll be doing Tuesday. And then I'll fly home to Atlanta and get to see my family for Thanksgiving for like 2 days. So yeah,
Nice.
yeah.
And
And then
that
I'm
that
back on the road.
and that's a typical week. Like that's just
That's
not this week. This is like a typical week. So I
yep.
I applaud that. I wanted to ask, are there any particular charities? I know, and one of the things I love about WWE is the wonderful community work that you guys do. Is there any particular charities that are near and dear to your heart?
So for me, I actually just started getting involved in the community stuff. I just got the opportunity for it. I'm not too sure specifically on the charities. I know there's a lot of them though. My first experience was back at Clash at the Castle. I did my first community work with WWE in Wells. We went to a farm. We got to be with some kids out there and just seeing them, smile about the little things, like animals and stuff like that. It kind of takes you out of this real serious world of all this negativity, and just getting to see that, you can make a kid's day just by being there and having a good time with them. So to
Excellent.
me, it's awesome. But yeah, I need to look into that and figure out exactly which ones because I'm slowly learning the ranks of that as this will be my second dive into the community.
Excellent. Excellent. I had the opportunity of going to Monday Night Raw when I was in Toronto just this past September, and I took a friend of mine who had never been to an event before. And even though I warned him, I said, at first I wasn't sure if I was going to tell him like, there's going to be some pyro, it's going to get loud. It was still like, for a first timer looking at it from his eyes, he was absolutely blown away, not just by the pyro, but by the overall production of the show. Can you kind of like how do you describe an event like Raw to somebody who's never been to it before?
Man, it's like a live action movie. It's like going to see the Avengers live, there's all these superhero looking people doing these crazy things that you wouldn't see a normal person doing. It's live. There's one take. You're not going to see any redos.
Yeah,
Just these passionate promos that might get they could be hilarious. They could be very serious. You could see a lot of funny things. You can see a lot of crazy things, a lot of exciting things, a lot of maybe there's some scary things. But there's so much that goes into it. It's really like nothing else that you'll ever see. And like you said, especially being there live, it changes the game. It becomes this crazy atmosphere of a world where you can just separate yourself from reality and go into this fantasy world where it's legit and it's a good time.
no, I couldn't agree more. I couldn't agree more. All right, I want to be always respectful of your time because you say you've got other media obligations today. I could chat with you all day, but I'm going to take you through a little something I like to call rapid fire. Austin Theory, have I told you about any of the questions I'm about to ask you?
You haven't told me any.
All right, wonderful. Okay, so again, first thing that comes to your mind, it's meant to be fun. I don't want to end up in a headlock from you. All right, here we go. First question I always ask people, and this again, just go with it. What is your favorite movie of all time? And if you can't narrow it down to one, I'll accept a top three.
All right, I'll say The Shining.
Okay, nice. What is your favorite WWE match that you were in?
Man, I would have to say, God, there's so many, but I would have to say even this last one that I just had on Monday Night Raw against Dolph Ziggler. I would say that one's my favorite right now.
Nice. Well, two great technicians in there, so that's a solid pick. What was your favorite WWE match that you weren't in? Like maybe one that you dial up on the WWE network and you check out and you're like, this was a really great match.
John Cena versus The Rock at WrestleMania 28. That should have been me, man.
Love it. Love it. Love it. Okay, social media obviously is huge for you. So I'm sure a lot of people want to know, what smartphone do you use?
I think I have an iPhone 13 Pro Max. I think I need to update, guys.
Yeah, I love it. Love it. Okay, so you are obviously a WWE superstar. You are a former bodybuilder. When is the last time you saw a cookie?
Yesterday.
Yesterday? Okay.
Yeah, I
Uh,
seen a lot of cookies yesterday, actually.
I love it. Why narrow it down to just one? I'm not sure. Have you been to Ottawa before?
You know what? I go a lot of places, but I don't think I have been. I don't think so.
Okay. Well, it's interesting because I don't know how you feel about the cold weather because you're coming at the tail end of something called winterlude. And I just want you to know, like, I was going to say what are you looking forward to doing in Ottawa? But I will be your tour guide. If you need somebody to introduce you to something we call the beaver tail, or you need somebody to take you and some of your friends out skating on the canal, hit me up. I'm here for you. All right.
Sounds great. Never done any of that.
See, there you go. And when in Rome or / when in Ottawa. Okay. I know that you love horror movies. What is the last horror movie that you saw that freaked you out?
All right, so I just watched this one. I'm probably gonna slaughter the name. Is it Barboa or something like that?
Barbarian?
Man, I don't know. It's like basically this Airbnb house that has like this underground.
Yeah,
It was very
Barbarian.
I was just a little confused.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was creepy though. It was
Yeah.
weird.
It does make you rethink the whole Airbnb experience. Absolutely. Um,
Yes.
Listen, for years we have seen lots of celebrities, athletes, whoever step into the ring. I believe the latest being Logan Paul. Is there a particular celebrity or what have you that you would like to face across the ring?
You know what? I would say Robert Downey Jr. if he can wear the Iron Man suit.
That's amazing. I know you're a big fan. A solid answer. Listen, I wanna thank you so much for the time. I want to end with this. I saw an interview where you talked about theory. You love the name theory because it's unproven. It isn't a fact. Let me tell you something. A fact is that you are an extremely talented WWE superstar. We are so looking forward to not just seeing you in Ottawa, but everything that you're going to be doing up to and before then, of course, after then as well. And I wish you all the continued success. Thank you so much for the time today. Really appreciate it.
Thank you, man. That was a pleasure just being on, and I enjoyed the rapid questions. Thank you.
Right? All right. Listen, you take care and we'll see you in a few months. Bye
All
now.
right, man. See you soon.